Hello and welcome to the Tongue of the Trees channel. I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer, and today we're talking about what is clove essential oil good for. Well, it's a wonderful oil, and today we're going to talk just about the physical properties of the essential oil, because it's very, very good as an antimicrobial and antiviral. We'll talk about that in a moment, but as I say, we're only going to talk about the physical aspects. We're going to take those from my free book, which if you want to download it for free off Amazon or any ebook platforms, if you have in the link, have a look in the link below, you'll be able to see how to do that. So just first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the oil itself and its morphology. So the morphology is which part of the plant it comes from. And if you look at the card from the Tongue of the Trees cards, I'm not even going to hold it up now because I always have to put a picture over the top of it because mine comes out back to front. You can see that its keyword is impressionism, impressionable. And there's a lovely poem in the cards that talks about how you haven't even noticed that you've become ill because something else is happening in your life. And it's fascinating how you see it playing out. So if I skip forward and tell you that if you wanted to buy the recipe hub, you'll be able to see recipes in there where we use clove. So predictably we use it for things like viruses, for example, but the recipe is designed not only to fight the virus but also to get clove to give you some insights into why was it that you went to that place that day, you caught that cold and nobody else did. What is it that's going on in your psyche and that made your immune system drop down and became more vulnerable to that infection? What's going on? Where are things out of alignment? So all of the recipes in the recipe hub this month, and I'm sure if I remember off the top of my head, there's one called Lean Into Your Aches and Pains. There's one called Stop and Consider Your Cold. There was lots of different ones. And all of them were to get insights into, I am stopping, I am going to let myself heal, but I kind of want to look and say, if I want to stop this happening again, I might want to address that particular situation. So if we look at the book, I can read to you off my screen because I'm too lazy to find it in the book. It says, historical successes of using this essential oil have included memory deficiency, contagious disease, flatulence, dyspepsia, stomach cramps, pulmonary infections, so if you're not sure, that's lung respiratory issues, and toothache. So we all know that we want to put clove on a bad tooth, and if you haven't done it, it's not nice. The burning sensation from the clove is worse than the toothache, in my opinion. I think it's just like a distraction method. But when we go, if you watch video 2, Gagley talks a lot about that. And I'm quite a squeamish person, so I haven't watched all of that. But I'm sure it's very graphic into root canals and stuff. She says, how do you use clove essential oil? I've put carefully because it burns. It is really quite hot oil. It's very full of phenols, and so you get this feeling of burning on the skin. I wouldn't put it on the skin. Well, I would make sure that it was well and truly diluted. To be fair, I think maximum dilution, I'd have to check my notes, but maximum dilution I think is 3%, but it feels fierce, you know. So I've put mainly as an antibacterial or neat on a tooth. So memory. I'll read you what I've written because I think I spent ages writing this. It says, this idea of memory, not like with forgetfulness, rather being able to keep a handle on your process of where you've been. Think of the string in Theseus and the Minotaur, Ariadne's thread. Multiple ways to see around a puzzle. It's extremely good for strategic thinking. And funny, yesterday I was really quite aggravated by all the different things that I've got to do. As you can imagine, putting together all of these videos in sequence is quite an undertaking, and it takes a lot of backwards and forwards between Gergley. And Gergley had gone and done a distillation workshop, so he got things that were left undone, and I got stuff that was left undone, and I was like, I'm not even sure where I've dropped my thread, you know. So I just kind of wrote notes down, sent it, and thought I'm going to put that away. Then this morning I got the clove oil out because that's what I'm working with, and today I can see, right, so that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. It's really good for strategic planning. And actually, when you come to the recipes, if you get the recipe hub, I've focused on that quite a lot because I use clove a lot, not only as using the eugenol to get you through massive viruses and stuff like that, but I use it for being able to proportion everything and being able to work out what goes next, you know. Seeing into the future is a different way of seeing into the future, isn't it? And it says, a bit like a chess player that can see multiple steps in front and back. So the Google chess player I've written on here, so I don't remember writing these notes. I did them last week, but I know where I've written it. So during lockdown, I don't really talk about my middle child very much. He's except to say that he has Asperger's, and he is a maths genius. I mean, a really maths genius. He's got a master's from Oxford, and he works as a computer programmer, a software engineer. And so, but to put some context in, obviously he's older. Both Amy and Andrew are much older than Dexter, and Andrew is coming 26. Yeah, coming 26 next month. And he's got a very old head on his shoulders. Very wise is our Andrew. Anyway, so it was in lockdown. He's obviously been, I would have thought that one could work from home in his job, but they were not told to work from home. They were just told to sit and do nothing. So he did a very good job of gaming continuously for many, many weeks. But then he decided, okay, I'm going to write a program. And one of the lads that lives in the house with him, they've got a live in a house share, also works at the same company with him. So they decided they were going to write this game. So the two of them had used to work with a lad from Romania, and he had taught them this game called Romanian checkers, which is a bit like chess, and they were very into it, and they decided to write this game of Romanian checkers and to put it onto the internet. And if I remember rightly, it's either romaniancheckers.com or romaniancheckers.co.uk. You can find it, you can play it if you want to. So he did that, but then they decided, well, actually, how do we program it to learn? So they went and learned, get this, they went and learned how Google programmed its algorithm to beat the cleverest maths computer in the world. And it did in 3 hours. It learnt it. So what they did was they took that algorithm, that piece of program, and typical Andrew Virgo fashion went, I can see bugs in that. So made it as his own, and then taught the Romanian checkers to be able to beat whatever. So it jumped. It sounds fascinating, but trust me, how's it learning? Yeah, it learned, and then you have to hear the glitches, and it's not interesting. But it really reminded me of Clove, the way that what used to happen, I kind of wish they'd given him a name, so I'm going to call him Bert, this computer. This is my name for Bert, you know. But what Bert used to do was he would come in, he would process, and he would do moves and moves and moves and moves and moves, and then get stuck in a cul-de-sac where he couldn't get out because he was just, he'd gone too far ahead and he couldn't work backwards. So then he would go back and he would learn, and he would go moves and moves and moves and moves and moves, and then he would find another cul-de-sac, get stuck, and learn. And clove's very good at being able to do that, of going, right, okay, I know that won't work because I remember I did that before. So if you are somebody who has to put a process into motion and you find that you get tangled up, be like Bert, be like Clove. Use Clove. It's really good at being able to see lots of steps in front. So 5 ways that we would use clove bud essential oil. I would use it for rheumatism, arthritis, general aches and pains. I would particularly use it for stomach pains, and of course it's a spice, it's a digestive spice, you know, but it's very good for griping, you know, like if the stomach kind of goes, clove's very good at doing that. I would use it as an antibacterial room diffuser, so if there is COVID or any other horribleness in the diffuser, so it goes right through the house. And I do not care about all the diffusion rules that say it's his human right to not have that on, you shouldn't invade your space. Yes, exactly right. It's my human right to avoid having that cold. So then we're going to use it in the diffuser. For the most part though, you'll notice that I use aroma pendants because I keep my magic to myself. It's in my own little aura. But for the plagues in the house, for the room, it helps you to plan strategically, and it's incredibly reassuring. So in your next video, if you haven't seen, go down to the link below. There is a second video. It's just hosted on my website, that's all, so that I can give you more information to help you. We're going to look at the emotional aspects of it, how we can use it to support our mental health, how we can help in spiritual healing, and then we're going to talk about the main chakra, as well as 5 ways to use clove bud essential oil. And then we're going to look at the safety. So is it safe in pregnancy? Is it safe to use on children? Is it safe for cats and dogs? Is there any contraindications with drugs, with medications? Spoiler, yeah, there is. And also I'm going to pass you across to Budapest, I should say it correctly. And Gegle will teach you the blending. How do we blend this extremely powerful essential oil? So then by the end of that, you will not only understand the physical aspects, but you will understand what is clove essential oil good for the mind, body, spirit, for the chakras, how to blend it, and how to use it safely.
You get your phone, you turn it this way up, and then there's a little red subscribe button. Turn it grey by clicking it, and then there's a little bell. Click that and press all at the bottom of your phone or tablet or computer. It will say you will receive all notifications, and then there's a little hand with a thumbs up. Click that, it'll turn it blue and it says added to your liked videos, and there will be comments And if you want to, you can send a comment and say like hi's to Mum and Gerglei. And then the link to the next video will be in the description below underneath the video. So, bye!